celebrate because we trust and believe that He is present with the Lord today. And so this is a day of celebration as He has made His transition to be with the Lord. We would ask that those members of the congregation who are not a part of the immediate family, please stand as the choir sings our opening hymn, What a Friend We Have in Jesus.
Julian as a child, but how can I wrap that up in 3 minutes? Everybody has a story. Most of you guys know me as Darlene Hall from Homewood High School, but now Darlene County. Julian and I attended road school, but actually I started off at his mom's house as a kindergarten. And Julian and I used to play on the playground, and I can remember they had a swing set there. So my cousin and I had a pair, a pair of underwear that said, look, but don't touch. I always remind me of those parents because the little boys would go back and when we swing and that we had our dresses on, they could see them. And he would always remind me of look, but don't touch. But as we're attending Rosefield together, Julian just always had to be on top, always had to be right. I don't care what he was going on. I'm right, he told her, please call her. Please call her from your home number, because if she see a strange number come up, she might not answer. So she was like, okay. So she called me. So when I answered the phone, my phone rings and it says home. So naturally, I'm gonna answer. So when I answered, there's this voice on the phone say, hey, I remember this little girl in Rosedale. She had a blue dress on. I love that blue dress. I just love that blue dress. And I said, oh my God, Julie Finley. She has a memory like an elephant. I said, Julie, I always hated that dress. He said, you know what? I love you in that dress, and I just wish you could wear that blue dress again. But somebody posted on Facebook about how they was reading the post from him. So I said, ask him, do he remember the girl from Roseville in the blue dress? I was asked to speak today, and I declined because I felt like it's an honor, but I just didn't want to do this. And so I was going, so if I had did, I was going to wear a blue dress. But since I declined, I said, I'm going to wear something bright and colorful like Julian. Julian's bright and colorful and happy. So when he said that blue dress, I said, look at you, this blue dress is for you. But in closing, I would like to say my favorite scripture is Philippians 1 and 3. I thank my God for every remembrance of Julian.
I was asked to give a few remarks about Julian and Homewood High School. I'm very honored to do so. Over the last couple of weeks, I've read all of the very eloquent things that were written on social media. And every time I read one, I thought, yeah, that was what I wanted to write. I haven't been able to do it. I'm not trying to get through this now. However, in almost every one of those posts, all the memories come back to Julian and Julian's smile. I'm going to remember a time, 9th grade, freshman football team, where I saw that smile fade for a brief moment. We're playing Pinson Valley High School, or Pinson Valley 9th grade team, excuse me. Julian and I were playing the Pinson back. We were out on the field, and after one particularly pretty brutal play, Julian had mixed it up pretty good with a wide receiver from Pinson, and the other guy had got given a lot of trash talk and stepped over that line and called Julian one of those words and a name that we don't call. Julian came back, and it's the only time I'd ever seen Julian wearing that helmet and that megawatt smile not beaming through that face mask. I was ready to quit the game, go across the line, and take care of business. But Julian, in typical Julian fashion, said, no, I got this. We went on to the next play. They hiked the ball. Receiver went out to throw his block. And Julian crushed. And then in typical Julian fashion, he reached down and he picked that young man up, patted him on the back, and he said, good play. During the rest of the course of that game, 6 or 8 times, Julian repeated that play. He crushed that man. And every single time after each play, he helped that guy up, patted him on the back, and he said, good play. By the time that first play was over that I mentioned he crushed him, that megawatt smile was back. That's the classic Julian that I remember. When faced with adversity, he crushed it. And he acknowledged some good about it. And he smiled. Julian loved to visit with people. So much so that he was the major driving force in orchestrating our latest class reunion. Many people helped Julian, but Julian was in full-blown conductor mode and orchestrated that. That's right. Yes, he showed up at one of the functions wearing the original class of 1979. And yes, he still fit. And yes, Julian looked good in it.
Amen.
He visited with every one of us at all different planned events. He was in rare form, and he was the personification vivacious, infectious personality, crossed all boundaries, race, age, and man. I honestly do not know anyone that did not like Julian. I know several people that he infuriated and he pestered. But no one that didn't like Julian. Julian loved everyone. I believe Julian is looking down on us. No. I believe Julian is with us. And that he is smiling. Julian has orchestrated us being together again today. That he's with each one of us, and he's listening to our memories and our conversations about it. So on this very special day, you, his family, we, his friends, and Julian is smiling.
Amen.
I didn't mean that to be funny. No, it's a tribute to Julian that we're all together today.
Amen.
Former classmates, teachers, friends, and family. Julian's family, many members attending the service today, contribute greatly in the forming of the Homewood school system. It's a proud community, and this street, named after Dr. Mamie Foster, who was on the first school board and an outstanding educator in person. May we pray. Oh God, we ask for your holy presence with us today, and friends and family gathered to pay final respect and honor of our faithful friend and loved one, Julian Finley. His deeds and friendship and kindness will live on in our hearts, and may our words today do honor to his memory, for he is very special to all of us. Amen. I have many fond memories of Julian, and I want to thank Julian's family and friends for allowing me to share some of these with you today. As I look back and see a lot of the classmates, some of them said to me, well, I was in your office for this and that, or I gave you this and that trouble. Well, here today, I pardon all of you. Julian was a 1979 graduate of Homewood High School. He went on to attend the United States Naval Academy and graduated. During his years at Homewood, Julian was active in all aspects of student life. Just to name a few, he played football, he was on the track team, he was co-captain of the wrestling team, he was in the Air Force Junior ROTC, where he was an outstanding student and cadet. He was a member of the drill team, student government representative, vice president of his senior class, and in the Spanish and psychology club, and many other activities. So you can see that Julian was a very well-rounded student. Recently I spoke to a couple of Julian's teachers he had in his junior and senior year, and they had this to say about Julian. Very smart, always had a smile on his face, never a dull moment when you were around Julian. Got along with everyone, very cooperative and respectful young man, and a leader. Another teacher said he's one of the brightest students I ever taught. He had great intelligence for the sciences and mathematics. This teacher said he was also smarter than some of the other teachers we had. I'll always cherish my memories of Julian as a loving person who always greeted me with a smile and great sense of humor. He was devoted to his family, his friends, and his community and church. We're all richer for having known Julian. Like you, I will miss him greatly. To close, I would like to quote a special saying I read in a Holy Land Museum in Israel. And I quote, "To remember the past, to live the present, to trust the future." We all cherish our past as one of special memories of Julian. We will all live in the present and carry on. And with God's guidance, we will trust in the future, which is in God's loving hands. Thank you, and God bless.
I want to thank everyone for coming. I feel that my family could not have gotten through this without all of your love and support, and I really appreciate it. My dad was one of a kind. I have too many memories of him, so I'm just going to share a couple. And then my cousin wrote a poem that I wanted to share with you. So after I give you some examples of what made my dad one of a kind to me, and you see the poem, you will have a better idea of our relationship and how special it was to me. When I was in high school, I wasn't the best of drivers. Some of you may know that, who lived on 204 Ivy Lane. And there was a time where my friend needed help with her car, and she called me, of all people. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do. Let me call my father. And he came and helped us out and changed her tire. And she reminded me of that a couple days ago, and that's not a memory I actually have, but the memory that I have from that situation was I called my dad and he came. Another memory, I was a freshman in high school, and it was around Halloween time, and Raven Simone was talking about how her father passed out hot dogs instead of candy. And I said, Daddy, that sounds like something you would do. Well, a week later, instead of passing out candy, my dad's on the street passing out hot dogs. Another memory I have is I had a really close friend that was in a rocky relationship with her parents. And she calls me up and says she needs my help. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So who do I call? I call my daddy. And he let her stay with us for a week. He even gave her a house key. And from that memory was, my dad extended his love that he had for me out to my friends. And I find that something that makes my dad one of a kind. Another memory, this one's a bit more embarrassing. I started cheerleading in the 7th grade. And I wasn't the best of cheerleader, but I still made the squad. And my dad, for about a year, helped me practice my toe touches. And he would show up to practice and out-toe touch me. To eventually learn how to out-toe touch him, which I did. So his support in that was very pivotal in my cheerleading career, just so I could, be a better person, learn how to be a team player. And those are some of the things that make my dad one of a kind to me. The poem is called Heaven's Turn. It's written by my cousin Jordan Montgomery, who will be performing a solo tonight, or this morning. Calm your weary hearts. My spirit has already grasped the I love yous and thank yous. I am aware, family and friends, that you mean well. I know you're saddened by the expiration of my earthly shell. But now the heavens yearn for the one-of-a-kind energy of my generation. It was time to give God some more conversation. He said I made enough sense on earth. It's heaven's turn. I traded pain for peace. Now while my corpse sleeps, you don't dare cry out of anger. I fought my battle and I won the course. Yes, God has taken my soul with no remorse, so I will suffer no more. It's heaven's turn for a one-of-a-kind.
Julian, Finley, and I started the most unlikely of friends. As many of you know, I didn't go to a Homer middle school. I come from another neighborhood. Came to Homer High School my sophomore year. So Julian used to come by the band room after we choir practice, and I would be at the piano Of course, back then I had long hair and I was a free spirit and all I wanted to do was play music. And Julian was the exact opposite for me. He was ROTC, he was football, and he would come in his ROTC uniform into the band room. And I would play Stevie Wonder and the Doobie Brothers, and he would say, I may look straight, but I'm just as funky as you. even in an ROTC uniform, I'm funky. So he taught me about there's no colors, we all bleed red. He was my first black friend, and we were friends for 40 years. And the backstory on the song I'm getting ready to play, this was our song that we shared the message. This is a song written by Stevie Wonder in 1971. And before I read a little bit of the lyrics and play it, last year I lost my father, and the first person that called me was Julian. And I hadn't seen him in many years except for the reunion, which we planned together, and of course we had a great time. He wanted my band to come over from Atlanta, and what a night that was, huh? What a night. And he said, I want to bring us all together in case one of us is not here anymore, that we had this memory. And who knew that it would be him? That's just how ironic and how special and incomparable he was. But I lost my father last year, and 1 month to the day after my father passed, I was inducted into the Alabama Music Hall of Fame. And Julian was the first person to call and congratulate me. And in his honor, after he was diagnosed, after 40 years in the business, I finally decided to get off my lazy self and record a solo record. So in his honor, I recorded the Stevie Wonder song on my solo record last year. And he got to hear it, of course. And the lyrics to the song, just a short piece so you'll know what. All is fair in love. Love's a crazy game. Two people vow to stay, and love is one they say. But all has changed with time. The future no one can see. The road you leave behind, ahead lies mystery. But all is fair in love. I had to go away. A writer takes his pen to write the words again, that all in love is fair. So for you, Juju, one more time, I love you, and the best way I can tell you I love you is with the song. And he said, Kenny, you always make the piano talk. So here's one more conversation before I see you on the other side, buddy.
With the troubles of this world, Lord.
All right now. We know, baby. We know.
Take the time.
We know.
That's all right.
We know. Have your way. Have your way.
All my trouble
Yeah, understand it.
in this world.
My name is Jeremiah, Portia, Uncle Julian's nephew. He always told me he was proud of me. You know, most of you from Birmingham, odds are stacked against you. But he always told me he was proud of me. I made decisions. You know, younger, I'm still young, but I have a beautiful wife, 2 beautiful kids. They're both in school. And 3 weeks ago, he told me he was still proud of me. He still lives. He's still proud of everyone else in here. And if there's someone for you to say you're proud of, don't stop because he's right here. You keep telling him that you're proud of him so they can move forward. Because he's proud of everyone, no matter what choices you make. He was a model of Christ's likeness, all day, every day. I'm not even, the moment I got the news, I never doubted where he was going. I'm pretty sure God's taking a couple of Tylenols right now. He told everyone he was going to ask him when he got up there. Just know he's not only got on our nerves, he's still getting on somebody's nerves. Like he was always proud of us, and he always will be. Me and my wife, we're both in school right now. This is new motivation for him. Because he would have wanted me to, he would have wanted to see me walk across that stage, and he still will. I will walk across, and he will be there with me once I'm handed that degree.